Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're going to be taking the neon sign frame that we just previously created, and now what we're going to be doing is creating the neon frame, or I'm sorry, the neon tube itself. So what we're going to have to do first is we're going to have to come out here, okay, and we're going to go to the body that we created first for the neon sign frame. We're going to right-click on it, and we're going to pick on Create Components from Bodies. Okay, and we can see it has now created a component. So I'm going to do a slow double click on this, and now I'm going to be creating a name for this. It's going to be kind of making sense. So I'm going to call this the neon sign frame. All right, so we can see that that is created, and we can also see that that has been grounded to the parent as sort of notified here with an anchor. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just making sure I'm active here at the top level, and now what I need to do is create a new component, and I'm going to be calling this the neon tube. And once we've created the neon tube, now what I'm going to do is create a sketch, be making sure to get in here close, and I'm going to be picking, okay, the very bottom of this channel right here. And now with the help of a project, what we're going to do is project this entire profile forward, and now we can go ahead and say okay. All right, so with that done, now what we can do is finish with the sketch, look at this in a home view using extrude. Okay, I can pull that profile out. Okay, and honestly, what I could do is just pick here on this top surface, and it's going to be extruding that out to the surface itself. And I can see that that is 0.075. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and just say, you know what, I just want to bring that out 0.1. Okay, like so. All right, and we can kind of take a look at how far that is extruding above the actual frame itself. Okay, and we can see that that's pretty high. Maybe I'm going to go ahead and back this down to like 0.09. Okay, we just want that to stick out just a little bit. All right, so we're going to extrude out a little bit more than what it probably should be. And the thing is I'm doing that because I want there to be some material out there when we apply the LED appearance. I want there some material to be out in front of the frame so it will actually produce some light. So we're going to kind of over exaggerate that extrusion. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay on this. And then this is when I could come out and using fillet, I could grab the top edges on both sides of that, and then grabbing my arrow, I can go ahead and just sort of round that over, okay, where it looks like so. All right, and now we can see it's that sort of rounded tube, just like it would be in real life, okay? So with that done, I'm gonna go ahead and activate this at the top level, okay? And then this is when I could come in here and I could use as built joint between the tube itself and the neon frame and make sure it's a rigid. We can preview the motion to make sure that those are connected, and I can just go ahead and say okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to my neon sign frame, right click, and I'm gonna come up here and pick on physical material. I'm gonna go into my plastic folder, and I'm just going to grab my ABS plastic, apply it to the frame itself, and then come up here to my ABS plastic and say edit, go to advanced, go into my appearance tab, and change my color to a black ABS plastic, which is what we print this off in real life. I mean, it's not ABS, but it's PLA, but it's going to be looking pretty much, close to the same thing. Okay. All right, so the neon sign frame is done with our ABS plastic. Now I'm going to be jumping over to our neon tube. So I'm going to go ahead and activate that. All right, and this time I'm going to right click on neon tube. I'm going to go into appearance. And once I get in here, I'm just going to go ahead and search this out in the library. I'm going to be typing in LED. And once I type in LED, I'm going to be just scrolling down a little bit and then finding a color that I'm wanting to kind of use. I might pull this up just a little bit and be able to kind of pull out on this. And so you can see you got some different colors of LEDs. So you have blue, green, red, and so on. I'm going to go ahead and just drag in blue on this, but I do want to get in somewhat close to make sure I know what I'm going to be dragging that onto. So I've just applied that to that neon tube. All right. And now what I'm going to do is right click up here on the LED. Okay, the blue LED. I'm going to say edit. And now what I'm going to do is come in here and change the intensity of this. So right now we can see it's sitting at 100. And I'm going to go ahead and just bump this up to like 55,000. Okay, and we're going to be seeing it is going to now change it from that darker blue into this lighter blue. And the reason is that, it's going to be producing more light. All right. And now I'm just going to come up here and activate this at the top level. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over, okay, from design into the rendering environment. Okay. I'm going to go into my scene settings and I'm going to be coming here into the color of my background. And I'm just going to go ahead and darken this up, okay, where it's going to look more like a darker room. And what I can do now is I can turn on things like reflections and so on, and we can see if that's kind of happening. But now what I'm going to do is come in here and just pick on this in canvas render. All right. And we can see that that is producing light. Okay. It's looking a little bit brighter on the neon tube. Okay. So it does kind of look like a neon light. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to close out on this for just a second, jump back over into my design environment. And now what I'm going to do is go back into my neon tube, go into appearance, and I do want to increase that intensity just a little bit more to make it look, the way it kind of would in real life. So let me change my 55,000 to 80,000. Okay, I'm going to say done on that and close. Jump back into rendering, and once again, I'm going to go ahead and render this in canvas render in, and we can see it might appear to be a little bit darker. We don't have a lot of material out the front, okay, but you can see it is going to kind of look like a neon tube. All right. So now that I have that done, all right, jumping back into design, okay, we can see our neon tube is there. Okay, we have the frame there. This is all going to be fully constrained, okay, with the help of our as-built joints. And we'll be ready to go move on to the next section of this.